हेलो एवरीवन, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। आज है 26 अक्टूबर 2022, दिन है वेडनेसडे और आज हम करने जा रहे हैं द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर की एनालिसिस। इस वीडियो के थ्रू कंप्लीटली द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर की एनालिसिस होगी। आप वीडियो पसंद हो तो वीडियो को लाइक करें और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। ऋषि सुनाक बिकम ब्रिटेन फर्स्ट नॉन व्हाइट प्राइम मिनिस्टर। 42 years old former chancellor of the exposure of Indian or descent, his vote to fix mistake committed by the former Prime Minister Louis Truss, Labour Party leader, tweet that he was no mandate. The British people have to no say. Tuesday was the historical day for the United Kingdom, which got his first ever non-white Prime Minister. Rishi Sunak, former Chancellor of Exchequer and Britain's youngest Prime Minister in recent times. Mr. Sunak, 42, is one of the Indian descent and was born parent who migrated to Britain from East Africa. Former administration banker and hedge fund manager will have to daunting task for trying to get the British economy back on the rails while attempting until the Conservative Party, which was the produced 3 prime minister in the under 2 months. तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिए गए। 5 associate of the Coimbatore car blast held. Police held on Monday arrest 5 associate of the James Mujim 29 who was killed in early morning car blast in front of the Swakeshwaram temple or and Coimbatore. On police have involved the provision of unlawful activities prevention at UAPA against them and investigation if the mobbing was associated with the plan of larger act of the sabotage expenditure went of the essential। तो उसके ऊपर ही आर्टिकल दिया गया है। और सीसीआई ने इम्पोज किया है 936 करोड़ फाइन गूगल पे। तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल है छोटा सा। कंपटीशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया ट्यूसडे इम्पोज पेनल्टी ऑफ 936.44 crore on Google abusing the dominant position of request to its Play Store policy and it's the second such penalty on the night design within a week। जो कुछ दिन पहले सीसीआई ने गूगल के ऊपर इम्पोज किया था 1300 करोड़ के, फिर से अब से 936 करोड़ की इम्पोज किए गए हैं फाइन। तो ये एक हफ्ते के अंदर 2 बड़े फाइन लगे गए हैं गूगल के ऊपर। केरला गवर्नर इशू नोटिस टू 2 more वाइस चांसलर। केरला के जो गवर्नर है आरिफ मोहम्मद खान ने उन्होंने ट्यूसडे में इशू किया है 100 का नोटिस टू वाइस चांसलर डिजिटल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ केरला एंड श्री नारायण ग्रुप अपॉन यूनिवर्सिटी सज्जद गोपीनाथ and MP Mubarak Paisa respectively over alleged violation of University Grant Commission regulation in their the appointment। तो उसके ऊपर ये छोटा सा आर्टिकल है। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल पे। With no road access, it touch and go for the sick in AP tribal region। Rodakhada 23 and Guruda Panchayat newly formed Arulia Mirta Raujo district in the Andhra Pradesh developed had no labor pen amount for APM October 13। तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिए गए। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे जो एग्जाम प्रोस्पेक्टिव से इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स होंगे, हम उनको डिस्कस करने की कोशिश करेंगे। 50% construction of work of Ram Temple complete, to open January 2024। Grand Ram Temple Ayodhya will be offered devotees in January 2024 after the installation of idols, said a key member of the trustee set of the oversee its construction। तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। Work on Anand Bihar Rikala Khan RT station almost finished। तो 2 station crore of invested high speed regional rapid transmitter system RRTS rail project in capital Anand Bihar to Sari खला खान और नियरली कंप्लीशन से ऑफिशियल। तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिए गए। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। 2 आइडल स्टॉम फ्रॉम तमिलनाडु ट्रेस टू यूएसए। चोला एरा ब्रॉन्ज आइडल स्टोलन अबाउट द 50 years ago स्वामीनाथ विश्वनाथ स्वामी टेम्पल इन अल्थुरु in Tiruvuru district of the state and replace has been left to their place। Tamil Nadu idol wing CID has traced to 2 Chola bronze idol were stolen 50 years ago from the Viswanath Swami temple Althuru in Tirunavuru district of Smlag to United Nations. It has recently legal document established the Tamil Nadu government honors the sim of NTQ. तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिए गए। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। IRS officer on run after the being booked to the beverage charge. Santosh Korani, 2005 batch Indian Revenue Inspector officer post as the additional commissioner of income tax and Ahmedabad flees to from his office to Everest after being the booked Gujarat Anti-Corruption Bureau on October 4 alleged accepting bribe of the 30 lakhs. The case, which source says might be have wider ramification, now is being investigation by CID. तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया CBI. A partially solar eclipse is observed in India Tuesday. Srinagar witnessed the maximum subscription of solar disk of 95%. The picture shows that the eclipse Bankasara Bengaluru, which expected between the 1:2 p.m. and 5:49 p.m. तो उसके ऊपर ये छोटा सा पिक दिया गया है। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल से। आफ्टर IB मिनिस्ट्री एडवाइजरी cooled over the Kerala education broadcast. The Kerala Infrastructure Technology Allocation KET, the state government agency to run the educational channel KT Vectis and KT Vectors Plus, was taken wait and watch approach for over a last advisory from the Union Ministry Information Broadcasting the bar state for cover of broadcasting context on their own. तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे, जो एडिटोरियल की पेज है। Ending dominance. Mobile user of digital powerhouse need to environmental for real choice. The recently ordered competition regulator against the Google to abusing the dominance position of Android mobile device ecosystem is significant, not just to amount to penalty imposed, but also the drastic challenge in business practices that is required to IT gen to undertook. On Tuesday, Competition Commission of India imposed a penalty about to 1337 crore की थी, set to the provisional amount on the Google, with the coming down to heavily on its having such respective charges to agreement with the original equipment manufacturer who use the Android platform that can keep the competition bay. And because of such agreement, the order said Google ensured the user to continue to search service and mobile device such facility unrestricted growth of investigation and advancement of revenue for Google. Therefore, they conclude that the hollow idea of Google imposing such restriction of device pattern was the protect and strengthen the dominance position of general search service, thus the revenue via such advancement. This decision, both penalty and regulatory direction on Google modified this conduct will इसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। Short or long stay, Brexit, Britain challenge remain. Rishi Sunak, he claims several records this week. Britain, first Asian Prime Minister, youngest in two countries. This currently on wealthiest and living memory in procedure. Louis Truss lives with the record the shortest serving Prime Minister, resigning after 45 days. The prime aim of the least support of her primarily colleague, a leader who oversaw one of the worst declining in value of pound sharply. Even the wonder almost rattled the British economy with her ideological driven physical policy, but the story of Louis Truss rise and fall. Rishi Sunak rise to become the Britain's fifth Prime Minister in 6 years. Also a story of Brexit Britain. This is the story of country that voted to pull off the Roundbridge exchange of honey, promise of the taking back control and immigration and the economy. Brexit Britain challenge the remain. तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया। ब्रिटेन में जो ऋषि सुनक इंडियन ओरिजिन के फर्स्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर बने हैं वहां के, तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया कि वो शॉर्ट रहे या लॉन्ग रहे, ब्रेक्जिट ब्रिटेन चैलेंज रिमेन रहेगा। उसके ऊपर ये पूरा आर्टिकल है। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल, वन मैन रूल। सिंग जिनपिंग नाउ फुल कमांड ऑफ द पार्टी एंड मिलिट्री इज थर्ड टर्म। जो चाइना के प्रेसिडेंट है सिंग जिनपिंग और इमर्ज हुए आउट ऑफ द लास्ट वीक Communist Party Congress in ever farming grief on Chinese politics, with the four Xi Jinping allies chosen to join the two others who continue to Politburo Standing Committee continue to 7-member head of the Xi Jinping body ruled the China in engineering the clean swap and complete domination of unprecedented in Chinese politics, even the high of the Mao Zedong power. He was the contact with rival power center. Xi Jinping faced no challenges, having sent past rivals such as Bo Lagia as well the potential challengers such as Sun Jekal prison on corruption charge. The past fictional arrangement have also been decated and Xi Jinping procedure Sang Zhuang and Hun Jutung no longer divided to influence. Mr. Zhang did not attend the Congress while the Mr. Hu was the final day restored to about before the he could vote to resolution pass anonymously while he forced to remove the attribute to health region an extraordinary sight only the underline the Xi Jinping dominance so did the earlier retirement of primary Li Kandeng and vice premier Wang Wang which proved to vice Xi Jinping allies to occupy 2 option next articles पे a renewable energy regulation rooted in agriculture. In beginning of renewable energy regulation rooted in agriculture are taking steps in India to fast bioenergy plant to private company in Srinagar district, Sangru district of Punjab. When the comment the commercial operation October 18, it will procedure compressed biogas CBG from the paddy straw and those are converting agriculture waste into wealth. It is a become common practice among the farmer in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, and imposed paddy stubble and the biomass setting in fire to prepare field of the next crop, which was sown in the window of 3 or 4 weeks, is spread over the million of hectare. The distant the cloud of smoke engulfed entire national capital territory of Delhi and neighboring states several weeks between the October to December. This plays the head of the environmental affecting human lifestyle health तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिए गए अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे betting on change and American dream. There have countries in which the West general and USA particularly would like to see regime change. Iran, Russia, China. Iran is most possessing China the least. Once so Atulio took over the Iran 1979, they demand to hand over the Shah from the America where he taken refuge. USA refused and the Islamic student took over the American embassy in Tehran and holding to diplomatic hostage for 44 days. Even since the relation between the Washington and Tehran have been extremely unfriendly, a superpower humiliated must not rest until the regime in toppled during the 8 years long Iran-Iraq war. American was clear to Iraq side and which was the furthest targets to Iranian had the USA. तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया है जो बेटिंग ऑन चेंज अमेरिकन ड्रीम अमेरिका की जो ड्रीम है वर्ल्ड को डोमिनेट करने के लिए तो उसके ऊपर क्या क्या चुनौती हो सकती है तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया देयर इज चाओस अपरेंटली ऑन द ओरिजिन ऑफ द वेस्ट स्पेशली यूएस इमेजिंग रिजिम इन ईरान रशिया चाइना ये तीनों उसको टक्कर दे सकते हैं TV dominate news source despite poor trust level. Only 30 strong trust private TV channel compared to 31 who heard about the newspaper say CDC survey. India new consumer trust in private TV news channel is respectively much lower than the belief in newspaper yet to television channel to be dominate the news source. Notably, their trust online. The new website is lower than even the private channels, while the former is the third preferred source to accessing the news after news channels and newspaper despite a search of the smartphone use. तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिए गए अब चलते हैं टेक्स्ट एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट के पेज पे यूथियोपिया इट्स पास्ट एंड करंट चैलेंजेस हाउ डिड द वेस्ट अफ्रीकन नेशन transit from the monarchy to current mashup of federal Ethiopia? What was lead to multiple insurgency in Tigray and northern part of country? How the China and India operating in country? The first formal African led peace talk between European government team and Tigray, Ethiopian government team and Tigray forces in the wars of 2020 with Tigray in South Africa scheduled from the October 24 is happening at a time when Ethiopian force and allies had made some gain Ethiopia northern Tigray region for the rest of world development spell some hope to reconciliation between the federal government and Tigray which was the prominent force of country ruling the coalition until the Ethiopia current leader Nobel Peace Lecture 2019 Abiy Ahmed become the Prime Minister in 2018. Ethiopia travel history, ethnic conflict and several other proceeding south to the rich and travel history of Ethiopia which stand out in the African continent from its origin in the Askumut kingdom and successor line of king which eventually lead to the Solomonic line and period of ethnic migration marked warfare and Ethiopia was the impartial state that gradually weakened over the course of next two countries which was emerged as the regional and religious rivalry. तो उसके ऊपर ये पूरा आर्टिकल दिया गया है कि Tigray conflict has the potential to pinch Ethiopia hard with the freezing of Western aid and but such this could be overcome by the looking to China and West Asia. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे. Does the presence of natural umpire mitigate bias in cricket? And study is using the promise of cricket umpires to show how the presence of peer influence a group base. However, it calls for the additional research into the understanding why peer research bias in some contexts and aggravated bias in others. In 1986, Imran Khan, captaincy of the Pakistan cricket team, invited Indian umpire V.K. Ramaswamy and Pilo reporter official Pakistan match against the West Indies in Lahore. It is the first time that natural umpire stood in the state match and prior to which only the umpire of the hosting nation official match. It was the era when the home team Pakistan more so were often criticized to benefit from the basis of this home umpire. Khan would later speak of the resistance from the cricket traditional for the introducing the idea of natural umpire, and after year of toffing with the idea, International Cricket Council (ICC) retell and begin to appointment natural umpire free test on the trial basis. From the 1992 to in 1994, the practice was introduction for all tests, and 2002, the world body made it mandatory for both and on-field umpire to be for natural countries. तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया, आप इसे सेल्फ नॉलेज से पढ़ सकते हैं. जो नेचुरल एम्पायर है, न्यूट्रल एम्पायर मिटिगेट द बेस्ट इन क्रिकेट, तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल पे. UNSC member to pay tribute 26/11 memorial. Counter-terrorism committee meet to held on Friday and part of the center effort to keep focus on terrorism, terror funding Indian tenure to Security Council end in January. जो जनवरी में इंडिया की सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल की जो मेंबरशिप है वो खत्म होने वाली है और 26 से 11 के ट्रिब्यूट किए हैं UNCA के मेंबर ट्रिब्यूट किए मेमोरियल को, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया है. दलित couple son shot dead in MP village for arrest, 3 on the run. Family's history, professional gap lies into and in service of the Supreme Court. The decade is said to see the two Chief Justice of India, those fathers since who headed the Supreme Court. Chief Justice designated Justice D.Y. Chandrachud is the son of former Chief Justice of India V.Y. Chandrachud, and Justice B. Nagarathan is daughter of the former CJES Venkateswamy. The Justice Nagarathan is also line into the first woman Chief Justice of India in 2027 for a month-long tenure. तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया गया, आप इसे सेल्फ नॉलेज से पढ़ सकते हैं. अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे. ऋषि राज टिगर ए वार ऑफ वर्ड एक इन इंडिया. बीजेपी ruling BJP defend itself to citing the accession of Abdul Kalam and Manmohan Singh after the various opposition parties learned to the majoritarian nature of the Narendra Modi government. A war of word broke out between the ruling BJP and opposition party. Rishi Sunak appointed the Prime Minister of UK, while the opposition alignment alleged the majoritarian nature of Narendra Modi government. The BJP continued to change the cities the APJ Abdul Kalam and Manmohan Singh as president and prime minister respectively. तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया. Jaishankar hold talks on the bilateral relation with Britain foreign secretary. External Minister Jaishankar Tuesday में डिस्कस किया relation between the Indian and UK with the British counterpart James Cleverly. The call took place just before the Mr. Cleverly was confirmed the continue to post as foreign secretary by the newly appointed British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया. इंडिया यूके के बीच में जो फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट है वो भी दीपावली के डेडलाइन में थी पर अब हो नहीं सकी, अब आने वाले दिनों में हो सकती है, तो उसके ऊपर भी आशा जताया जा रहा है। भारत जोड़ो यात्रा कंप्लीट 1/3 ऑफ इट्स जर्नी, लाइकली टू रीच कश्मीर इन फरवरी। फरवरी में भारत जोड़ो यात्रा जो कांग्रेस की है वो पहुंचने वाली है, तो उसके ऊपर ये छोटा सा आर्टिकल दिया गया है। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे। इंडिया envoy meet Kenya president over the abduction of two women. Ministry called case very disturbing. Envoy expressed deep concern. Head of the non-disbanded Special Service Unit of Kenya Police, which has alleged to kidnap the duo and among held. The authorities in Kenya on Monday procedure for police officials in court over the disappearance of two Indian nationals who have been missing since July 2021. Arrest police officials, including head of the two disbanded official service unit SSU, his assistant external minister affairs, said the Indian envoy to Kenya Nanga Kampa met to President William Ruto on Monday to convey deep concern. तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल दिया है। Burning fuels, burning of fossil fuel killed over 3 lakh Indians in 2020. Estimated over the 3,30,000 people die in India due to exposure of particular matter from the fossil fuel combustion in 2020. Say 2022 report Danson Countdown Health of Climate Change Health at the Mercy of Fossil Fuel released on Tuesday. The report add to the from 2000 to 2004 to 2017 to 2021 had related to death increasing 55% in India. तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। India report 862 fresh COVID case, lowest in the 196 day. तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। Over 7 shop in Arunachal market destroyed in fire. ESIC scheme had added to 14.62 lakh new member of in August and CSO. Around to 14.62 lakh new member joined to SICI run social security scheme in August 2020 according to official data released on the data is part of report payroll reporting in India and employment respective August 2022। तो उसकी नेशनल स्टैटिस्टिक ऑफिस के द्वारा दी गई है, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। एम्बेसी आस्क्स इंडिया टू लीव यूक्रेन इमीडिएटली। ए फ्रेश एडवाइजरी जो इंडियन एम्बेसी ने यूक्रेन को दिया है, तो ट्यूसडे में ऑल इंडियन देयर वाज लीव टू कंट्री इमीडिएटली व्यू ऑफ इंक्रीजिंग हॉस्टाइल। तो उसके ऊपर ये आर्टिकल है। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। ए आउट क्रेसी एंड म्यूजियम ऑन बंगाल मुस्लिम सेल्ड इन आसाम 2 पर्सन हेल्ड। लोकल अथॉरिटी इन वेस्टर्न Gopalpara district in Assam sealed to the Mia Museum on Tuesday, 2 days after the inauguration by the organization representing migrated Muslims। तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। India China should seek a common ground for the development, say envoy. In neighbor is natural for China and India have to some difference, but the focus should be seek to common ground on development while the resolving the pending issue through the dialogues and outgoing Chinese ambassador to India Sound Wedding said on Tuesday। तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। The two sides should strip and manage the resolve differences and look for the proper solution through the dialogue and consultation। स्वांग वेंडी जो चाइनीज के एम्बेसडर थे इंडिया में, वो अब इंडिया से जा रहे हैं, तो उसके ऊपर ही आर्टिकल है। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे जो वर्ल्ड की है। आस्क कैटर डिफेंस सेक्रेटरी हु अपॉइंट कमांड टू वुमेन डाइस। वाशिंगटन में जो फॉर्मर डिफेंस सेक्रेटरी आस्क कैटर थे उनकी मौत हो चुकी है, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया है। 6 Palestinians killed after Israel troops conduct raid in Western Bank। नेबुलास की न्यूज है। मेटा से व्हाट्सएप आउटेज इज नाउ फिक्स्ड आफ्टर बिलियंस ऑफ आर इफेक्टेड। पेरिस की न्यूज है। ईरान स्टूडेंट प्रोटेस्ट आफ्टर गर्ल्स बिटवीन इन क्रैकडाउन बाय ऑफिशियल। ये तेहरान की न्यूज है। Focus on India-UK ties as the Sunak become Britain Prime Minister. I want to make sure that easy for our students to also travel to India and learn. It is a two-way relationship, and that is the type of change I want to bring to the relationship, Sunak said recently. India के bilateral relation जो UK के साथ में maybe will be post to the sea greater way two-way exchange. Rishi Sunak was installed as the Britain Prime Minister, Indian origin Prime Minister on Tuesday। तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया है। रशिया इज परफॉर्मिंग सीक्रेट वार एट जाफरोजिया प्लांट से यूक्रेन न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी। यूक्रेन के न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी ऑपरेटर ने ट्यूसडे में कहा है कि रशियन फोर्स ने परफॉर्मिंग कर रहे सीक्रेट वार यूरोप लार्जेस्ट न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट एक्टिविटीज दैट कुड बी सील्ड लाइटली टू सी। रशिया क्लेम्ड द की फोर्स preparing and provocation involving the radioactive device, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया है। जेलेंस्की आज 38 बिलियन रशियन सेल बैकमोट। यूक्रेन के प्रेसिडेंट जो व्लादिमीर जेलेंस्की ट्यूसडे में के इंटरनेशनल कमिटी को कवर टू एक्सपेक्टेड बजट टू डिसाइड 38 billion next year for the war-torn country तो मॉस्को इन्वेंशन also badly hitting the economy, तो उसके ऊपर यह पूरा आर्टिकल है। साइक्लोन स्ट्रिंग किल एटलीस्ट 24 पीपल इन बांग्लादेश। जो साइक्लोन स्ट्रिंग थी वो बांग्लादेश के आसाम तक पहुंच चुकी है। साइक्लोन क्लास टू द बांग्लादेश लेफ्ट टू एटलीस्ट 24 पीपल डेड इन about to 8 million without power across the Delta Nation official news report on the Tuesday, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दी गए। मिलोनी से इटली इज द कमिटेड टू यूरोप। इटालियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो जॉर्जिया मेलोनी है उन कंफर्म किए हैं यार गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट फॉर द यूरोपियन यूनियन नाटो एंड यूक्रेन टू ट्यूसडे इन हर फर्स्ट एड्रेस टू पार्लियामेंट, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिए गए। म्यांमार मिलिट्री एयर स्ट्राइक किल 18। जब म्यांमार में एयर स्ट्राइक हुआ था मिलिट्री के द्वारा वो किल किया चुका 80 पीपल को, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल है। चलते हैं नेक्स्ट पेज पे जो बिजनेस की है। इंडिया एक्सपोर्ट टू चाइना ग्रोइंग फास्टर देन इनबाउंड शिपमेंट। PLI scheme for different sector will help to reduce the dependency on import over the time. Technical regulation frame for the production such as a toy, electronic, chemical, fertilizer will check substance import and from the say government official. India के trade equation for China के है improving recent year to outbound to shipment rising faster than the imports, whose growth is being driven largely by vital raw material and meet demand for the high growth sectors such as a telecom and power. A senior government official ने कहा है, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। COIA for bringing all OTT players under regulation. Secular Operator Association of India COIA ट्यूसडे में पीच किया है रेगुलेटिंग को OTT players including communication over the top OTT players such as WhatsApp, those who by Netflix consume the huge bandwidth, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल है। Political stability in UK maybe gives impute FTA with India. Rishi Sunak became the UK PM, likely to be give much needed momentum through ongoing talks of the proposed free trade agreement जो between India और ब्रिटेन के बीच में होने वाली है, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल। Embassy RETI to invest 2,200 crore in office building. Embassy of Officio Park REIT to invest to 2,200 crore in next 4 years to develop the premium work of such tremendous growth potential office market despite to global regionally concerned. CEO of Vikas Kodia said interview with the PTI, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया है। USA I-25 rise in appliance sale. Supreme Court remit the MG appeal on the sack of worker pay. Supreme Court has disposed the petition filed the General Motor Indian Private Limited seeking to quash the Pune Industrial Court order to payment 50% monthly salary 1,086 registered worker, तो उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल दिया गया। पुणे इंडस्ट्रियल कोर्ट हैव ऑर्डर टू 50% मंथली पे टू 1,068 साक्स वर्कर। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स पे। नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल्स स्पोर्ट किए, तो आज के द हिंदू न्यूज पेपर एनालिसिस में इतना ही। थैंक यू, जय हिंद। वीडियो पसंद हो वीडियो को लाइक करें और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें रेगुलर अपडेट के लिए।